Your new toothbrush has AI. Your vacuum has AI. Even your email app claims to have AI. In the last 24 months, we have turned a complex branch of computer science into a generic marketing sticker. But when a word is used to describe everything from a simple thermostat to a system that can write a legal brief, it starts to mean nothing. We are currently living through a linguistic gold rush, where the speed of branding has outpaced our collective understanding of the technology itself. To understand the buzzwords, we have to stop treating AI as one thing. Think of it like a set of nesting dolls. The largest, outer doll, is artificial intelligence. This isn't a brain, it's a goal-oriented computational system. It's the broad pursuit of getting machines to do things that usually require human intelligence. This field has existed since the 1950s. If you've ever played chess against a computer, you've used AI. But that's a far cry from the chatbot on your phone. To understand the leap, we have to look at the next doll, machine learning. Traditional software is a recipe. If the user clicks this, then do that. Machine learning flips the script. Instead of giving the computer instructions, we give it examples. We feed a system 10,000 photos of cats and say, find the patterns that make this a cat. The system doesn't know what a cat is. It knows the statistical probability of certain pixel arrangements. This leads us to the most misunderstood term in the industry, the neural network. The term neural network sounds biological, but in practice, it's a massive math problem. It's a series of layers that weight the importance of different inputs to reach a conclusion. When we add dozens or hundreds of these layers, we get deep learning. This is where the magic happens, or at least the appearance of it. But there is a hard line between what we've had for decades and what changed in 2022. Most AI we've used historically is predictive. It looks at your past purchases to predict what you'll buy next. It looks at weather data to predict rain. But generative AI, the smallest doll in our set, doesn't just classify or predict. It creates. It uses the underlying patterns it learned during training to generate entirely new data, text, images, or code that has never existed before. This brings us to the term you hear every day, LLM. LLM stands for Large Language Model. Here is the nuance people miss. An LLM like GPT-4 does not understand your question. It is an incredibly sophisticated next token predictor. When you ask it for a recipe, it isn't looking in a digital cookbook. It is calculating, based on its training on billions of pages of text, which word is most likely to follow the previous one. It's a stochastic parrot, a term coined by researchers to remind us that these models are repeating patterns, not reasoning through logic. Because these models are just predicting the next word, they can be confidently wrong. This is the hallucination. Since the model doesn't have a ground truth or a connection to the real world, it will occasionally prioritize the pattern of a sentence over the accuracy of a fact. If a lie sounds statistically probable, the LLM will tell it. This is why the latest buzzword in business isn't more AI, but something called RAG. RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation, is how we fix the lying problem. Instead of letting the AI guess, we give it a specific folder of documents and say, only use this information. It's like giving an open book exam to a student who usually just makes things up. And the next step beyond that? Agents. These aren't just chatbots. They are systems that can use tools, sending emails, browsing the web, or editing files to complete a multi-step goal without you holding their hand. This leads to the ultimate buzzword, AGI, or artificial general intelligence. This is the hypothetical point where a machine can perform any intellectual task a human can. Some experts think we are years away. Others think we're decades off. But by using terms like intelligence and learning, we often trick ourselves into thinking we've built a soul. We haven't. We've built the world's most powerful statistical mirror. Understanding these buzzwords isn't just about winning a trivia night. It's about agency. When you know that an LLM is a pattern matcher, you know not to trust it for medical advice. When you know that generative AI is built on deep learning, you understand why it needs so much data. We are moving from being passive observers of a magic technology to being informed users of a complex tool. The AI label might be marketing, but the mechanics underneath are real. And now, you know how they work.